Australian Television Network and Associated Stations presents The Bert Newton Show.
Hi. Thank you very much. Nice audience. A good, happy group. I heard John and the great Bert speaking to them before the show from backstage, and you sound a lovely, lovely group. Great Bert, are you okay today, my very good friend?
Oh, I'm feeling a bit crook.
What's wrong?
Oh, I've had a shocking day.
Why have you had a shocking day?
No particular reason.
Fair enough. Everyone is raving about the great Burke. They say, and his answers are so fast and they're so quick and they're so brilliant. I've spent 30 years in television trying to perfect a certain art, and he kills them by saying nothing. See what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Also, apart from the great Burke on today's show, Clayton Barbeau is back on the show today, and this time we are going to give him his own segment where he can actually sit there all by himself and actually he's on Monday, and I think I did most of the talking, and don't dare say what's new. Yesterday we had Delilah and Chelsea Brown and Bruce Ruxton, and poor old Clayton was there, and all he's trying to do is flog his books and his tapes and where he's speaking all over Australia. Today he's going to do that, but also much, much more. He's a highly respected American psychologist, and also, I can never think the second, marriage guidance counsellor. Might talk to you after the show too. Also, a remarkable woman who's survived drug addiction, prostitution, and Hell's Angels. Our new choreographer, please welcome to the show, Jill. No, this lady. It's a nice way in which to, not with that introduction, but also because she's standing on the stage to say hello to Gillian Fitzgerald, who joins the show as of this week. I meant nothing of that, by the way. Only joking. The lady in question is Helen Ivivovich, and she'll be on the show a little later on, by which time I'll get her name right. Also, a lovely lady from The Great Temptation with Tony Barber back in the 60s and 70s. It'll be wonderful to welcome back to the Seven Network, Barbie Rogers. She's going to be with us. So, all in all, it looks like a terrific show. Robin Jolly is going to open the show for us today, and it's always beautiful to see Robin here. That's where the music takes me, and let's take it away with Robin Jolly. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you, Robin. Robin Jolly, and that's where the music takes me. I might mention too, whilst I'm introducing various people who have joined our company, apart from singing on our show, as of the start of last week, Robin Jolly has actually joined the show itself as one of our producers. So welcome, Robin, officially.
Thank you, Bert, very much. Nice to be here. Lovely.
It suddenly occurs to me, do you have a guest on today's show?
Yes, Helen Ivikovic is...
Did you tell her that you're also singing on the show?
No, I haven't warned her as yet. So we had fleeting words in the makeup room, but I'm now going out to explain to her the full context of my appearance on the program and the makeup. She was a bit worried about the makeup. Yeah,
sure. I'm just thinking she'd be back in the green room now watching the show and saying, I'm sure that's the guy who met me when I arrived here today. Must be a very small budget. Good to have you on the show, Rob. Robin Jolly, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, it's beautiful to have our next guest on the show too. Take yourself back to the 60s. You might think, those of you who aren't old enough to remember this original show, might think that Tony Barber has been a great quizmaster only through Sale of the Century. Back in the 60s and I think into the early 70s, he and Barbie Rogers had a magnificent program called The Great Temptation. Here's a real memory tickler for you.
Congratulations, 2 runners-ups, Barbie.
Tony Nancy Godworth from Barber Street in Mayfield, Newcastle, and Mrs. Russell from Box 180, Belmont.
Yes, indeed. Lovely to see her. Again on television, you'll see her live in just a few moments' time. Let me just mention to you, apart from being a great hostess on television and also one of the earliest stars of that ilk, Barbie has had quite an interesting life. In some ways, very early in the piece, a very frustrating life. But she can tell the story. As I introduce her to you again, please welcome back to the 7 Network, Barbie Rogers. Your heart good? Hear those wolf whistles from the audience there?
I know, it's wonderful. Could you keep it up? Could we put it on tape so I can take it home and listen to it all the time?
You look wonderful.
What about those shots, the last shots? My legs are wider than that. My shoulders were in those days.
What era was that, Bob?
Temptation went from 1967 to 74. And of course it was on, Temptation was on for an hour in the daytime and then half an hour Great Temptation in the night time. So it was virtually an hour and a half to air right around Australia.
And back in those years, everyone talked about what Tony and Barb said on the show.
Well, I think we were the new generation, the new look, you know, from your pick-a-box people and your Princess Panda, that you had down here.
Sure.
All of a sudden came this lady with long blonde hair and long legs who used to wear, you know, the skirts right up around, you know where.
Yes.
I mean, it was a wonder I wasn't running for indecent exposure. I looked at a photograph the other night and I was sitting on a chair and it was right up there. The dress.
I remember watching the show and seeing the sort of gear that you used to wear, and for its time, it really was quite devilish. I mean, it was only on occasions you looked across and had a look at Tony, because, you know, I mean, you were there and there's a lot of Barbie Rogers to see.
I can remember going to America in the early 70s to do a screen test for Columbia Films, and at that time I was wearing hot pants and long over-the-knee boots and socks. Well, the Americans had never seen anything like it. They followed me around for days.
Tell us about the screen test.
I did a screen test for Columbia Films in 1972. I was sent over there. I ended up with a show called Password. They wanted me to do a show called Password. But I was never very ambitious. And I figured I had 2 young children at home and a very good career in Australia. So I
You took it no further.
No.
You talk about the 2 young children being at home, apart from the fact that it's great to see you back on television. The thing that always sticks in my mind is a conversation we had many years ago at a Jimmy Hannon show called Celebrity Squares at TCN 9 in Sydney. And you told me in the dressing room one day, told Paddy and myself one day, that you were adopted and you said you were looking for your real mum.
Yes.
And the way in which you told the story was fascinating, particularly considering that the whole of Australia knew Barbara Rogers in The Great Temptation, but no one up until that stage had known that you were adopted, and indeed, as you said, there was every chance that your real mum used to watch you on television.
Well,
Take the story from there, Barb.
Well, I didn't know myself. In 1973, I was 31 and had no idea. I was in a family of 3 older brothers and a sister that was 2 years younger than me. And my adopted mum had died just before Temptation started. And my father remarried again, and the lady that he married figured that I should know after all this time.
They're adoptive parents we're looking at now, aren't they, on the screen?
Yes, that's my mum and dad on my 21st birthday.
And they're both now passed on?
Yes, they have. And it was interesting because my birthday I always thought was the 8th of August, and people used to say, you're a Leo, but you know, you don't show the signs of being a Leo because you're not forceful enough. Well, I didn't find out until about 1978, when I wrote to Youth and Community Services, that I was actually born on the 8th of July, but my adopted parents took my birthday from the day they brought me home, which was the 8th of August. In those days, the girls were allowed to keep their babies up to 4 weeks, and that time make a decision whether they want to keep them or give them up for adoption.
But Barbie, how did you find out you were adopted?
Well, the lady my dad married, his second wife, decided that I should know after all this time. And it was a tremendous shock. As a matter of fact, I had a nervous breakdown because of it, because I couldn't handle the fact of not belonging to a family I was so sure that I did belong to.
So what did you do?
Well, I joined an organisation called, I think it's called Adoption Triangle now, and tried to find my natural mother. And I had no sort of hint at all. All I knew was that I came from St Margaret's Hospital, and that I was born on the 8th of August, I thought, in those days, 1942.
Yeah. Interesting thing, if we just see the photograph of you as a little girl, I'm not too sure whether we've seen it yet or not, and someone was saying before the show that your real mother called you Shirley.
Yes. When I talk to her now, when she had the baby, she named me Shirley after Shirley Temple because she thought Shirley Temple was just so wonderful. Then my adopted parents, when they took me home, they had no idea of who had me. You know, all they knew that I was born, you know, to an unmarried mother, and they had the opportunity of adopting me and bringing me up. But my mother, I learnt dancing 6 days a week, and on the 7th day, I would go and entertain at different homes and orphanages and that sort of thing. And I could never understand. She always made me on the Sunday sit with the children in orphanages. And when I'd come home in the afternoon, she'd say to me, well, what did you get from that? Did you learn anything from those children? And all I could say was, they don't have mothers and fathers. But all along the line, she was trying to tell me, but she couldn't bring herself to
Was she a good woman?
Very, very strong Roman Catholic lady who made a pact with her husband that she would wear padding so that nobody would know that I wasn't her child. So that the 3 elder boys, her first husband had died, and she was told she couldn't have any more children, so they adopted me, but 2 years later she had a daughter of her own. So I was very secure in that family with 3 elder brothers looking after me and protecting me. And it never even occurred to me, I would say, who am I like? And I think, oh, well, I'm tall like my dad. But it was only as I went on. I can remember when I was having my first daughter, and I was told I had Rh negative blood, that I could have a blue baby. And I went home to her and I was so upset, and I said, well, why didn't you tell me that? And that day I remember she tried so hard to tell me, but she couldn't. She'd kept the secret for so long.
Yeah. And she wouldn't have known your blood type?
No, no.
Take us up now, Barbie, to the time of meeting your real mum.
Well, I met my real mother in 1969, about the 31st of July 79, I should say. And what had happened was she'd come out from Scotland. She was a Scottish girl, 23. And, of course, there was no government aid for unmarried mothers in those days during the war. So she had no other choice but to give her baby up for adoption. And, of course, she went to a Catholic hospital where you virtually signed your baby over weeks before it was born if you weren't married and couldn't afford to keep it. So that she never ever married until she was about 40, and then the man she married was a very sick man, and he died about 10 years later. So she'd virtually lived alone all her life, never had any other children. I was the only child.
Did she watch you on television?
Well, that was interesting, because the day I met her, I walked up the garden path and she was there with 2 nephews. I was howling, my ex-husband was crying, the nephews were crying, and she stood there and showed absolutely no emotion whatsoever. And we were having a cup of tea, and she said, to think I used to watch Temptation, I thought what a lovely looking girl you were. And I said, well, I guess I have you to thank for that. And then I looked around and the tears were running down her face. The thing was that she'd lived alone all her life, she'd kept a secret, and she didn't know how to show emotion.
Do you see much of her now, Barbie?
Yes, all the time. Yes,
do you call her mum?
No, I can't call her mum. I call her Bunty, which is her nickname.
Do you see her as your mother?
No, not really. My mother is definitely the parents, my mother and dad are definitely the parents that brought me up. And she is a nice, like a maiden aunt or a very good friend. I mean, she just absolutely adores me and buys things for me all the time, I think trying to make up for what she didn't give me as a youngster. But when I go around and talk to people about adoption, I usually find that people in the audience get very upset. You always find one or two that become very upset. And when you talk to them afterwards, you usually find that these are the people that do have adopted children, and they're frightened that that child will look for their natural mother, and of course they'll lose that love. Well,
Should they look for their natural mother?
I don't know, I sway either way.
Are you pleased you didn't find her?
Yes.
Not just because she's a good person, but would you go through that trauma again?
Well, it's terrifying what you could find, and emotionally it's terribly draining on you. I don't know that I'd have the courage to go through with it again, but I mean, I found a nice lady who made one mistake in her life. Thank goodness she did, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here.
You're a lovely mistake. Barbie, stay with us, please.
Yes.
Clayton Barbeau is going to join us after this break. He's a psychologist from America who's been on the show the last couple of days, and he's making his third appearance this week, and hopefully he's going to be given some time on this particular
Right.
appearance. Although, of course, what you've been talking about, I'd be very interested to hear what Clayton had to say
Yes, it
about
would
your
be.
experience.
Yes.
We're back with you after this break. Welcome back. Well, the phones have been running hot about our next guest over the last couple of days. You've met him on Monday and Tuesday, and now meet the Wednesday, by public demand, American family counsellor Clayton Barbeau. You've met Barbie now?
I
Yeah.
watched her in the green room.
Interesting story, Clayton?
A very moving story. Yeah,
There's one
very
question from the
powerful.
audience that Barbie was asked whilst we had that commercial break. The question was, do you wish you'd known when you were a child? And what was your answer, Barbie?
I do believe that you should know from an early age, because there'll always be somebody prepared to tell you, and it gets harder to face the reality of it, not belonging in a family as you get older. So you should know from an early
Right.
age.
Well, we're talking marriage today, particularly, aren't we? And all marriages obviously start up optimistically these days, and everyone wishes to stay with their partner until the end of time, as it were. What happens, usually?
Well, they become husband and wife. And husband and wife is a whole different thing from the relationship that preceded it, which is why some people can live together for years, become husband and wife, and divorce. Because the moment they marry, old tapes begin to play of the husband-wife relationship they grew up with. To give you an example, and their response to it. To give you an example, a while back I had a woman who came into therapy, brought her husband in, and she said, every time I try to talk to him, every single time I try to talk to him, he gets up and leaves the room. Now, he looked like he wanted to get up and leave the room.
I felt as though I was back home.
I said, yeah. I said, do you want to get up and leave the room? He said, you bet your life I do. I said, when did you decide to get up and leave the room when your wife shouted at you? He said, I guess I was 4 years old. She, of course, almost fell off the chair. I said, you want to talk about that? He said, well, my parents screamed at one another a lot. I was an only child. It terrified me. I used to hide under the bed or in the closet. When I got old enough, I got out of the house. And I promised myself, if I ever grew up and got married, I would never scream at my wife or yell at my wife. Now, she didn't know she was yelling, because she was from an Italian-Irish marriage. And they thought they were communicating when they shouted that way, and she thought that that was what wives did. She learned that from her parents, so we got her to lower the volume, and he stayed in the room. Now, that's called awareness, factor. But a lot of people are unaware of how those old tapes come into play from the early marriage education course that they have. And that's one of them, one of the changes that takes place.
Yesterday we tried some questions from the audience. Admittedly, we got to only one because of time restrictions, but after the show there are a number of people who wanted to ask questions. I'm hoping today's audience is feeling much the same way. John Deeks is pointing one of the lasses in the front row. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, Clayton, would you still recommend arranged marriages? Because I have arranged marriage. I've been married for 10 years, I've got 2 lovely kids, and I got married at the age of 16.
Arranged marriages, you mean by the parents?
Yes, my father and my mum.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend them, but they had a lot going for them, because today one of the problems about people who commit matrimony is that they usually do it in a vacuum. without any input from their parents or their family background or any acknowledgement that there are differences there. And in fact, if you try to dissuade them and say this person might not be the proper choice, that's like throwing gasoline on the fires of their passion. Rather than arranged marriages, I would sure like to see more people who are about to get married really consult with their parents and other knowledgeable people. Even go to a marriage counselor, which is becoming even more popular in the United States, where engaged couples will come in and talk to a marriage counselor about problems that they foresee.
Okay, any other questions in the audience? Yes, sir, did you have one?
Yeah, mine was about teenage.
Yeah, certainly, we'll go.
Is that okay?
Ask it, please.
Well, I get on well with my parents, but some of my friends don't. They find that too much pressure is being putting on them to achieve and get good marks in school and that type of stuff. I was just wondering, you know, why that's so.
Well, a lot of parents try to live out their own goals through their youngsters, and some are very well-meaning about it, but the pressure can be enormous for that kind of achievement, so it will resound to the parents' benefit. I try to encourage parents to understand that about age 15, their basic role in their young person's life, aside from setting certain boundaries, it's their job to set boundaries so the kids actually grow up alive. It's the kid's job in adolescence to push against the boundaries, which creates friction in any healthy family, the kind of friction that you get in a rock tumbler where you polish stones up with friction. We should come out more polished. At any rate, I try to encourage parents to appreciate the fact that we're trying to turn our kids into more than a parent-child relationship now, but a relationship of friends. I've been had by 8 children, and that's the existential experience, you know. It's really one of being had. People always say, he's had 8.
I like the way you say commit marriage, too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. People do that all the time. At any rate, and I once made the remark, I had 8 children because I wanted at least 6 pallbearers at my grave. At any rate, they're all friends of mine, which is what I think good parenting does. They're all good friends of mine. In fact, we had a little party before I came here, a little dinner party before I came to Australia this trip.
I believe you had a little party last night. A little birdie tells me you had dinner with some delightful ladies.
The ones on your show.
Chelsea Brown and Delilah.
You have wonderful quality.
It's dangerous, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
So where would you like to take Barbie this evening?
Yes. Can I ask you a question about relationships when they say that you should talk it out? What if the partner cannot express themselves and cannot talk about what's worrying them? How do you get it out of a person?
One of the things I don't allow clients to say to me is, I can't. They get to say, I don't choose to, I don't know how, and I don't want to right now, or whatever, but I can't is not permissible when we're talking about relationships. Then sometimes that's when you call in somebody like me, and you say, well, let's go to somebody else who might help you to express that. I've had people who, you know, I had a wife who was going to dump her husband because he didn't talk. People are always dumping people for the same reasons they married them. She married him because he was a wonderful listener. The first man that ever just listened to her all the time, you know. Then she discovered later he didn't talk. Oh, it's always happening, you know. At any rate, it took a good 20 minutes of work with him, and I would have to go into some sort of technical detail, and we don't have time for it, but I had to literally track him and say, I said, well, when she said she was going to dump him, she announced it in my presence. She hadn't told him before. I said, how do you feel about that? And he promptly said, well, I think she may do it. I said, I didn't ask you what you think. I asked you what you felt. He promptly began looking out here, you know, searching like he was reading a paper. I said, you won't find the answer out there. It's inside of you. He promptly scanned his memory. You know that if you're a therapist, what he's doing with his brain. And I said, you won't find it in the past. What are you feeling right now, this moment? Well, I guess she'll do it. I said, I didn't ask you what you guessed. What do you feel? And we finally got out of him that he felt sad and frightened. And I looked at her and she smiled. It was the first expression of feeling she'd ever heard from him. And I said, you see, there's hope.
And that was the start of a new life.
That was
for
the
them.
start of the beginning,
Yes.
yeah.
Clayton, it's been fascinating having you with us the last couple of days, and I must say the phones really have gone crazy after each appearance that you've had. And the one thing I did promise your Australian manager, Mary McNamara, that I haven't done it. She is the producer who's been looking after Clayton for the last couple of days, and she's not here today. She's back in the office, but I promised I'd say hello to her. The one thing I did promise too, I'd show some of your books. I mean, you've got more releases than Kamal here. You've got the art of loving. You've got Coping with Clayton Barbeau.
I like that title, Coping with Clay. Yeah,
Coping. We've been doing that for 3 days now. Chelsea Brown last night and Delilah. The Joy of Marriage, a Teenager's Survival Kit.
There's also a book called Delivering the Mail, M-A-L-E.
Right. Yeah. And take all of those and you get this one free. This is Creating Family, Intimacy, Love and Sex.
That's the soundtrack of a film series that's on PBS in the States.
Clayton, it's been lovely meeting you. Thanks for being with us on the show the last 3 days.
Thank you.
And good luck with the lecture tour.
Thank you.
Clayton Barbeau. Thanks also to you, Barbie. Lovely to see you. Back to the after this break, and we're joined by Jonathan Coleman talking about trouble. Perhaps I'm just too emotional, but it just doesn't seem the same without Clayton and knowing he won't be here tomorrow. Being here right now, though, on our set is a great favourite of ours, one of our regulars. Please welcome Mr. Jonathan Coleman.
They said I wasn't allowed to bring anything on that I could spray or throw today, so...
I've got to ask you, Jonathan, why are you dressed like that? Are things that bad?
No, I just... basically, I'm not very well.
Why?
Well, I had a very
we've
late...
known that for a long time, but why specifically today?
I had a very late night last night.
Did you go out with Clayton and Chelsea? And
yeah, we
Delilah?
were actually at a certain hotel in Melbourne, and it was Daryl Braithwaite's double, triple platinum album party for CBS Records, and I discovered this is something called tequila.
Yes. Yeah.
And myself and Dano, who's actually back at the hotel still, not very well. But enough of my problems. You know that on the program they said, you know, get into it because there's been a lot of people...
I'll just ask you one question. Yeah. Did you promise them last night that you'd mentioned Daryl Braithwaite's platinum gold thing?
No, I didn't.
Congratulations anyway, Daryl, if you're watching.
It's
wonderful.
done very well. It's a great album, and it's good to see that Daryl... it was rock and roll.
Yeah,
but, yeah. No, congratulations.
Yeah, so you were saying?
There's certain things that I don't really enjoy doing on this program. I love being on the program, but there are certain segments that I get the feeling that no one else wants to do, and it's like, yeah, get Jonathan Coleman, he'll do it.
That's
yeah,
right.
He'll do it.
Spot on.
One of them, in fact, is a couple of things. I don't like getting up really early in the morning. I don't like freezing cold water.
Yes.
And Kat Fox, who works on the show, insisted that I stay at her place, and well, we had quite a good time, but that was basically because we had to get up at 5 o'clock.
Let's just leave it there, right? Yeah. So what did you do at 5 o'clock in the morning?
We went to Middle Brighton Baths because there's these people, and I use the word sparingly. They're very, very hardy bunch of very butch individuals. Men and women, and they go swimming. They're called the icebergers. Like in Sydney, they have the Bondi icebergs who throw ice in the thing and all that sort of stuff. Well, in Melbourne, you have the icebergers, the Brighton icebergers, and these people swim all year round, but they get up like at Sparrow's thing. And
let's see your report, as Don would say.
Yeah, let's take a look.
What have you got down there on
I'm not very happy, and basically I wanted to straighten that out at the beginning, that I basically didn't want to be there. Okay. So let's run the tape now, Tony up in the control room and see what happens. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, hi. It's just gone 5:30 in the morning here at Middle Brighton Baths. Not many people out there swimming at the moment. It's about 3.5 degrees in the water, and it's bloody freezing. And I'm just about to go and ring Bert and tell him I want to go home. Oh, plus I can feel a chill coming on.
Under the boardwalk, people walking above. Under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love. Under the boardwalk, boardwalk.
Guys, going for a swim this morning?
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think the water's like? Looks like it's about 3.5 degrees. Just an approximation.
I would think it'd be much the same as yesterday, when it was 53 degrees Fahrenheit and what's that, about 11.5 Celsius. I doubt whether there'd be a great deal of difference. It's fairly constant at this particular time of the year. Next month will be a different proposition.
So you go all year round?
Yes.
rain or shine.
Yeah.
Going in now?
Yes. Yeah, we're going in. Here's a stray periwinkle.
Well, very, very invigorating. But I'm still not going in the bloody water. Did you get that shot of me pulling that guy out of the water?
No, sorry.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it. I just saved the guy's life. He didn't. And it's time for these feet to have a paddle. These feet down here to have a paddle in the Middle Brighton bars. Well, that just about wraps it up here from the Middle Brighton bars. I'm freezing. I still want to go home. I'm absolutely lonely, and I'm having a fabulous time. Bye-bye for now. I'm Jonathan Coleman. That's life. And this is freezing.
That's life. Well done. Very in-depth too, which I thought was terrific.
What do you think of the sign-off line? I think that could work, isn't it? Jonathan Coleman, that's life.
Yeah. The average age of the guys who do that?
About 30. It's just the cold weather.
Everyone's asking, what are you wearing under that? So the big reveal, thank you, Russ.
I'm standing... Slow motion. It's a...
Oh, God. The fault is not in your set. Put it back. Is that a Parisian, is it?
This is a... thank you very much.
It's not a pretty sight.
I'm worried about some of the crew here at Channel 7.
I think you'll be very safe today.
It's actually, you can sleep in this or you can swim in it.
I'm sure you have.
I think I'll be sleeping in it.
Good luck to you, Jonathan, and thank you for the report.
I'm looking forward to my next project. Hopefully it'll be in the middle of the day or at the end of the day.
Jonathan Coleman, ladies and gentlemen. OK. Jenny Andrews now? Jenny Andrews now. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. No commercial break? No. Just checking. I knew, just want to make sure you knew, Peter. OK, at centre stage... Oh, it's Jenny Andrews, and I must find... Who writes your CVs, Jenny? Who writes the biogs for you? Because there's a ripper here, which I got. Jenny radiates the most magnificent intensity of an artist you're ever likely to see. Even the most simple, mundane phrase or lyric is turned into a raw, sensual experience.
Oh, it's the power of the passion.
This is going to be a ripper. Jenny Andrews and Eternal Flame. Here we go.
Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? Is
CV isn't too far wrong, is it? She's very talented, Jenny Andrews. Then we're back with you after this break, and we'll see you then. Okay, our next guest is a remarkable woman. I mentioned at the start of the show she survived drug addiction, prostitution and the Hell's Angels to rebuild her life. Please welcome a lady who is now a Pentecostal preacher, Miss Helen Evisovich. American, now living in Sydney.
Yes.
The story of your life, I mean, would make a great book and a great mini-series, because all of those things that I've mentioned you've been through. What was the turnaround for you?
My sister-in-law invited me to go to a church service. Originally, I wasn't interested in church because I'd been as a child and thought if you'd been once, you already knew everything there was to know. But she invited me to go along, and when I arrived, it was a Pentecostal service. And they were singing, and they were having a lot of fun, and they looked really happy. And I think seeing people really happy is what started the turnaround in my life.
Okay, well, from the beginning, what got you into drugs and Hell's Angels, etc., etc.?
Goodness, that could be a mini-series. It was 1967 when I started taking drugs, and 1969 when I got involved with the Hell's Angels. The United States of America was involved in the Vietnam War. Young people my age were going off overseas to fight, and many of them die, for a cause that they didn't have any deep belief in. So we were somewhat challenged as teenagers as to either go with establishment or anti-establishment. Some of my friends went to Berkeley University where there was rioting, and they went on with education to their own kind of rebellion. But I turned the other direction. I went into the rock and roll music, which was being birthed in San Francisco, and the Timothy Leary acid, and eventually into the Hell's Angels.
How did Hell's Angels and the people associated with Hell's Angels and the people who were part of your life in that era, how do they react to your turnaround?
Really interesting, actually. Most of them that I rode with would probably either be in prison or no longer alive. So the Hell's Angels that I would meet today would be people who had never met me before. I met several Hell's Angels just a couple days ago here in Melbourne, and I haven't had a chance to really talk with them. I think if I had a chance to sit down, because they see that I'm portraying a very negative aspect of the lifestyle, but I have to remind them that they're not choir boys. You know, there is still things going on in that lifestyle that are not right. So I think we need to get together, and you have a gentleman that comes on the show pretty regularly. He's arranging a meeting for me to sit down and discuss some things with them, and I'm pretty excited about that.
You've not met him yet?
I've not met John.
You'll like him.
And he's also going to take me to meet with the Hell's Angels where we can sit down and talk, and I can explain that I use the background of the Hell's Angels as a tool. I want to help people, young people especially, to not get involved in the drug addiction or maybe the prostitution side of it ever.
How long have you been here, Helen, in Australia?
Back and forth for about 6 years. My parents were Australian. So,
right. Right. Where are they out of in Australia?
Perth. Or actually Baskerville, but if you blink, you've missed it.
I'm going to ask you then, you would have had the experience of seeing quite a bit of the youth of Australia. Their problems, are they much the same as the problems of American youth?
Very much so. Direction. I mean, they turn the news on today and they say it's 18% to buy a house. Well, I can't afford a house now. I'll never own a home. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. How am I going to afford to live? What industry am I going to be in? What business will I go into? Very much the same.
Do you lose hope ever?
Do I personally? No, I never do lose hope, because the dynamic change in my life makes me feel like every day is a gift. And so I just use it to the best of my ability and hope that by sharing where I've been, I can help other people not to go there.
Do you believe God sent you to Australia to come back here and to work among the young people?
I really do, yeah.
I read in one of your CVs that your belief is that Christ is with you all the time.
All the time. All the time. I live a very standard Christian lifestyle, which to some might seem like a boring way to live, but actually it's a very exciting way to live. And he is with me, and he sent me here just to share with people the fact that Christianity is basically a message of an unconditional love.
Thanks for being on the show. It's been fascinating talking to you, and good luck with your ministry, your work, because it's obviously so important.
Thank you.
Our special guest today, Helen Evisovich. Formerly a Hell's Angel and now a Pentecostal minister residing here in Sydney. After this break, we welcome once again to the show Twice Teal. We'll see you then. Melinda and Jennifer Teal are with us today. Twice Teal, they call themselves. You'll love them. I saw him standing there. Twice Teal.
He was just 17, you know what I mean, and the way he looked was way beyond compare. How could I dance with another when I saw him standing there? Well, he looked at me, and I could see that before too long I fall in love with him. He wouldn't dance with another when I saw him standing there. Oh, well, my heart went boom as I crossed the room, and I held his hand in my hand. Well, we danced to the night, and we held each other tight, and before too long, I fell in love with him. I'll never dance with another when I saw him standing there. Oh, well, my heart went boom as I crossed the room, and I held his hand in my hand. Well, we danced to the night, and we held each other tight, and before too long, I fell in love with him. Now I'll never dance with another when I saw him standing there. Oh, when I saw him standing there. Oh, when I saw him standing
Melinda and Jennifer, Twice Teal, and the Beatles' favourite, I Saw Him Standing There. We're back with you after this break. It's time to leave you because it's still holidays. My daughter Lauren is with us today, and whenever she's here, she's my standby compere, aren't you?
Yep.
I'll tell you when. Tomorrow on the show, Senator Janine Haynes, Max Fairchild from Mad Max, and also zoologist Dr. David Smith.
Be watching Dad tomorrow. Be watching the Bert Newton show tomorrow. And goodbye and God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you. Thanks for watching today. That was terrific.
When in Melbourne, our guests stay at the Hilton on the Park. This has been a Jim McKay production for the Australian Television Network.